everybody, it's Brooke. I am back with part 2 of our slow stitch journal cover, purple journal cover, in the series of let's make some purple stuff. So I did my homework last night. If you watched the first video, we had gotten things laid out kind of on the front cover. We saw how to use a yo-yo maker to make some yo-yos. Let me get this out of the way. We talked about hexagons, but I did not show how to make them yet. I will do that today. I am not an expert. Let's just be clear on that. I am not an expert. I could certainly not make a quilt or anything. And then we got our little Lisa Maddock Alfred bird all cut out. So that's as far as we got yesterday. And my homework was to get our background stitched onto our cotton batting, which I did. I don't know if you could see it. It really is invisible stitching. Can you see like those little puckers in the fabric? Each one of those is a stitch. And so this is going nowhere. This is what the back looks like, but I don't know if you can really see the thread. It matches pretty closely. And that's what the back looks like. And this piece underneath here is now very, very secure. These red marks are where the spine of our journal is going to lay, so that I don't put anything non-flexible over those lines. I wanted to just have them marked there. So let's get, I have stuff cut out to make a hexie. I'm going to put it right up there so I don't forget. So let's get stuff laid back out, and that way I can invisible stitch all of that. I don't remember what we were doing exactly. That, I think, will be pretty good. I don't want that whole big piece, but a lot of it. And I did take out this piece that we were looking at. I really like it. I like how bright white it is. I realize there is this seam back here, and this is not that old a fabric. That seam has been serged, so it's got a lot of bulk in it. And I thought, I don't mind how it looks on there at all, but stitching through it with other fabrics behind is going to be a bear. So I went ahead and took this out of the mix. And I put this little piece in instead. So I was thinking that could go maybe this way. Is there a right and wrong side? I don't know. I don't really think so. So let's put it this way, because I really like this netting look. So we can put this over here. And what else? We have this piece that we were playing with. I love this. It's really old linen, and I love the color. So that could go right there somewhere. Is that where we had it? I think it is. We've got a little bit of text with this real kind of pale gray-brown handwriting on it in French, which is always fun. I'm trying to make the pieces not line up, because I'm not a huge fan of how that looks when it lines up. And then we've got this guy. Maybe that could come over just a little bit more. Nope, not too much. Or this guy will have to come over some. Okay. Get it kind of straight-ish. There I am lining stuff up again, darn it. Can't have that. So there's that. And I really like this piece of lace as well. So we've got that. But we also have this piece that we had put out, which I like. Do we like it down there? Maybe. Alright, I think what we'll do before we get too far is cut this piece down so it can go. Is this piece going to cover the whole bottom corner is my question. Well, we can make it. So this piece can get cut off about here. Is that my head? Sorry, did I stick my head in there? Nobody wants to see your head, Brooke. And I believe, well, let's rip that and see where we are. Love this fabric. This is not old fabric, it's just a different kind of muslin. that's got little flecks. Can you see the little flecks in it? And it's this really pretty kind of oatmeal-y color. So then if that's going to go to the top, I think we could probably cut it right about there. I'm just trying to reduce the bulk of the layers at this point, so that's why I'm cutting it down. Don't need to have all those layers. So we'll fold those over. See, and this is covering up our little edge that where this linen was cut. And so now we are taking care of that problem right here, right now. Gonna let the little fringy edges hang over, both the side and the top. Spit it out. I'm still having a hard time talking, you guys. I thought it was just yesterday, but I guess not. Alright, so that piece can go about there. And we've got this pretty piece that's going to go about there. No edges lining up, that's cool. And we've got this pretty that can go down there. And I'm just letting all the little fabric fuzzles go where they want to go. I like how that looks. And then we have this piece of lace. I kind of wanted that to look like the ground. Like have flowers coming up from behind for our Alfred to be standing in. So what about that? And then I found the cutest, oh look, I found this adorable piece of selvage that says, "The Earth Laughs in Flowers" by R.W. Emerson. And I thought that would be absolutely beautiful with our Alfred and our flowers. Do I like that? I might indeed. Let's grab Alfred. Do we like this layout so far? We need a little tiny piece of fabric there, unless Alfred's going to cover it. This is going to have to come down further if I want it to be the ground. I went quiet. I'm concentrating really, really hard. However, it's slow stitch. There's no wrong way to do it. You lay it out however it looks good to you. So there's Alfred's beak. He's going to be looking that way, which is what I wanted. His tail might just slightly wrap around the spine if I put him here, because the spine's going to be here. Yeah, it might just a little bit, but I think that'll be a-okay. So what could we pop in right there? Got all the greens. Do we have a little tiny fragment of purple? I don't want it to be anything too distracting. Nothing crazy. Oh boy, if I got a mess. I need to clean some of this up. Could we cut out some of this? No, I don't want it to be lace. I want it to be fabric. So how about a little tiny piece of this? And we'll just pop it in behind stuff to cover up that background. This is such pretty fabric. I'm not going to cry if not every square inch is covered. But we'll stick this in and see if we like it. Come on, everybody cooperate. I don't want to distract from Alfred for sure. Get a pin and coax that up in there. I like that color there for sure. But is it going to distract from our Alfred? That is the question. You know what? I might just leave it empty for right now. If I need to, we can go in and put something in afterwards, but I really don't want to take anything away from Alfred. So Alfred will go about there. This guy's going over on the back. I don't think I want it going over the spine because these metallic threads are delicate and I don't really want them to have to bend and open because they could break potentially over time. So we won't put that over the spine. And let's see. Oh, we've got our yo-yos. And I fixed the other one that we made yesterday where I tangled the thread all up. It took me like half an hour, but I finally got that knot picked out. So he's ready to go. I think I like that. Alfred's hanging out. I could make him looking up like he's looking at the flowers when I stitch his little eye in. So that works. So far I'm liking it. And I think I can, at this point, go ahead and pin this down. I think I will, actually. I'm liking it. So let's get some pinning done. They're only pins. I can change it if I want. So I will go back in and do the invisible stitching again to tack everything down. That way we can get rid of these bitey pins. I may do just a little overcast stitch around the flowers to hold them down. It won't be terribly decorative, I don't think. It'll be more to hold them down. And then we're going to do a bunch of stitching and whatnot, beadwork in the flowers. So that will be very fun. Ooh, I'm running out of my big pins. I guess I could bring this down instead of reaching, huh? And then once we get all of this tacked down, we can put Alfred together. Not sure that's exactly how I want those to go. Pretty close. I think it's pretty close. But again, I can make adjustments when I'm going in to stitch it down if something is not working for me. Come out. Come out, come out. Okay. Put one here. Grab a whole bunch of layers at once. Let's move Alfred out of the way. You go over here, Alfred. You just mind your beeswax over there. The felt mat comes in really handy when you're pinning, because you can just kind of scoot across the surface and get your pin right in there while everything is flat. It's kind of nifty. Trying to decide exactly where we want this. I guess right there is good. I guess that's exactly where we want it. Grab our pin. Oh, there goes my stomach growling. Apparently filming makes me hungry. I guess it's not filming. Recording makes me hungry. Alright, so that's all pretty well pinned. I don't think I'm going to pin this yet because I don't want to stick a bunch of pins in there because it's silk. It will show. So let's check one more time. Alfred's going right about there. I do have this butterfly on tulle. There are little sequins in there. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see that. He might be kind of cute flapping around somewhere. Oh, I'm going to at least cut that bit out and put it with the stuff, because that might be something good depending on how our stitching goes for our flowers. I like that. Okay, and then over here, ultimately, we're going to have, I think actually up here, we will have some hexies with some decorative stitching around them. Where'd the other one go? Oh, here we go. And down here we'll have a couple more yo-yos to just sort of repeat what we have going on over there. Oh, and I did do this. I forgot to tell you that. I'm sorry. Under this lace, I just slipped a little tiny piece of pink and green fabric of this, just so that the fuzzy background batting wasn't showing. I just slipped it under there while I was doing the tacking stitches, or the invisible stitches. Those could go right in there, maybe. I like that. I like it a lot. Once it gets all stitched and bedazzled, it's going to be kind of awesome. Yep. All right. So I think that is looking pretty darn good. We'll put the butterfly with our other little pieces that are going to go over there. I would kind of like to get something in here. And that's going to be on the spine, so it won't be messing with Alfred. If we use that big of that dark purple, that's going to be kind of overwhelming, I think. We have this little piece with a nice frayed edge. I like that. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, you know, we have this really pretty fabric we made that yo-yo out of. It's kind of nice and neutral, isn't it? Maybe we should put a square of that right under here. Let's do it. Let's just do that. Right about this big. Very scientific measuring, you see. Very exact. Okay, that's a lot of strings, even for me. They're kind of bugging me. Get out of here. You're annoying me. Alright, so let's move Alfred a little bit. I'm muttering, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm thinking real hard. That could go. I'm going to take this pin out. That can go right across there. Oh, I like that. Yes, I do. We could actually even outline stitch some of these flowers, and that would be pretty. Put this pin back in. Yep, and Alfred might hide that where everything joins up, which I like. Good job, Alfred. You get out of my way, because you're annoying me too. How about that? And then maybe we'll just slip this little piece of purple right there. Yep. Alright, I think I will leave it there and we'll work on this before we work on the back. Get this stitched down and stuff. I'll leave these edges open so we can slip things underneath should we need to. Looking all around for pins. Alright. I don't know what my compulsion is. I have to smash it down with my hands, like to really, oh, I was off screen, I'm sorry. To really, I don't know. I don't know why I do it, but I do. Okay, so that's looking pretty darn good. I think I will do a little cleaning up before I do too much more stitching. How long have we been going? Oh, only 18 minutes, cool. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Put all the pieces that go together. And we'll move this. Alright, now to the hexie. So, I was talking yesterday about the fact that if you bought the slow stitch kit to go when they were available in my Etsy shop, you got these little paper hexagon templates. So, let me show you what I'm even talking about. To make little, oh, that's a stitch. To make little hexie pieces, units. I don't know what to call them. Ultimately, people make quilts out of them, which I can't believe. I don't know how long it would take to make enough of these to make an entire quilt, but it's just kind of a fun little quilt element to put on your piece. We were going to put one on the back of this one. Let me show you that again. I can't remember if I pointed it out or not. Oh, I'm stuck to things. So once we got everything stitched together, it'll be like back here, just looking all cute and quilty. And you know, I may go around and do a running stitch in a contrasting color, but it'll just be a cute little quilt-like element that I really like. So I will show you how to make them. Plus, like making the yo-yos, they're very relaxing and fun. Again, I am absolutely no expert. I don't know if I could even make a quilt if I wanted to. I don't know if I have the technical abilities. Alright, I lost the piece of fabric we were going to use. I thought I would like one in that green. Alfred's sticking to everything. Crazy bird. So, take your little hexie, and it's just made out of cardstock. And I said it yesterday, but I'll say it again. I think it's worth it. The way to get these pieces to fit together perfectly, well, I have to hold it to show you that, but to make them fit perfectly like that, you really can't cut these out with scissors, because they just are not going to be, not every one will be exact, and they have to be uniform. So you can either order them on the internet or get them at a quilt store. I believe Joann's carries some, but they're bigger. Or if you have a Cricut or a scan and cut, that's how I did mine. I made mine on the Cricut. And I think we said they're 7/8, like the sides. Yeah, the sides are 7/8 of an inch. That's how big these are. So with that being said, you want to have your fabric face down, and you put your little hexie in the middle. And I'm going to hold it in place. And then all you need is about 1/4 inch of fabric all the way around. You don't want to cut it too small, because then you won't have enough to wrap around. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this back a little bit. Trying not to let my hexie move, the little rascal. Okay. And then I find, out of the way because it's going to stick to everything. I'm staticky. Also, in your Slow Stitch to Go kit, you had these little wonder clips. These are also readily available. Amazon, Joann's, any quilting store should have them. And I find if I start folding, I can then hold it with the little clips. So you want to fold the fabric over the first edge. You don't want to wrap it really, really tight so that when you go to wrap the other side, you're warping the hexagon. But you do want the fabric right up against the edge of the paper. And then you fold your little corner. Can you see that? So I wrapped it there and holding it with my thumb. Wrap this piece over so that the corner overlaps like that. And then give it a good finger press. I just shifted that hexagon, darn it. Okay. And then I take my wonder clip and I clip that corner right there. And as it is clipped, it will kind of give it a it will kind of finger press it as well. If you, well, not finger press it, but it will press it. So we'll go down there and do the same thing. Folding that corner over. I did shift the hexagon. I hope that I didn't shift it too far, because then we'll have to start over. Do the same thing. Fold this corner over. Can you see that? I believe you can. Fold that dude over, hold it again. Some people do this with glue. It doesn't seem like it would be all that stable to me, but I don't know. I like the sewing part just because I think it's relaxing. Okay, we've got that one. Give that a little finger press. And unlike the yo-yo, this is the side that's going to be showing, not the inside. Ooh, I did shift that a lot. Darn it. Is that going to be a problem? So this is the last side, and you're just going to fold like that. I'm going to go ahead and try to do it. It might be ugly. You know what? I'm not going to. I lied. I'm going to move the hexagon back. Sorry, guys. I'll put it back where it was. And you know what? I'll cut out this part while I'm reclipping it. And I will come back, and it will be all clipped where it should be. Alright guys, and I'm back. This is exactly where I left off. I just shifted the hexagon and reclipped it. So what's left are the last side and the last two corners. So what I will do is take this first side, okay, and fold it over, making sure that we're getting right up against the paper. And I very kindly threaded a needle, just with some, it doesn't matter what color thread because it's going to be a basting stitch only. and I'm going to put it right through, right here, catching all the layers of fabric, right through the paper and everything. And I'm going to take a big fat basting stitch all the way over to the middle. And again, it really doesn't matter what color thread or how it looks because we will be pulling this out. Okay, so that's just going to attach that there. And then we're coming up to this corner. Actually, let me refold that. Going that direction. I like all the corners to go the same direction. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Again, if you want to make like an English paper piece and quilt or something, this is not the video for you. If you just want to do a couple little pieces for your slow stitching, I think this will be sufficient. I did cut the fabric a little short, so it's a little fiddly. But you don't want a ton of bulk on the back either. Okay, so we go stitch right through that corner again, and we'll go through all the layers, including the paper, and hold it all down. That little tail is going to bug me. I'm going to take the tiniest little bit of fabric off there so it won't show on the other side when we sew it together. Probably terribly ill-advised, but there you go. As I said, I'm no pro. And back through there. And we're back to the corner again, so I'm going to go right there. Oh, tell me I wasn't off screen all that time, you guys. I'm sorry. Go back through there, go through that corner, and go through all the layers of fabric. Okay, come back, take a big old basting stitch in the middle, still making sure that my fabric is nice and close to the paper piece. Take this guy off, and see how it's kind of staying in place? So it kind of pressed it down for us, which is quite handy. That's why I like the clips. They get a little bit in the way, but not terribly. And your thread tangles on them sometimes, but it's not insurmountable. Another stitch in the middle, pull this guy out, and I'm going to go, this is our little corner. I'm going to right through there and through all the layers of fabric, holding that corner down. And then up in the middle. And take off our last clip and do our last corner. Right through all those layers. Oops. Okay, and just tie a little knot. That's where I got into trouble yesterday, huh? Doesn't matter if it's a mess though, because again, it's a basting knot. It's going to get ripped out. So you see where my little stitches are? See where my messy knot is again? And there's the other side. And now when we go to piece it to another piece, because those hexagons were completely uniform, see how that just butts right up? Can you see that? I think you can. So those edges are exactly the same length, and that's why you need to make sure the fabric is close to the paper piece, because you want those to be exactly the same size. So I've got these two pieces sewn together already, and do I like those? I think these are not my first choice. Didn't we pull some out? Looking at our pile over here that we were going to do. Nope. I like this one, and I like this one, and I think I like this one with them. Or do I like these three? Oh, the decisions. Well, I've got one of those that I took the cardboard out of here to make sure that it would work well, and I don't want to try to stitch it like that. So I've got one here that has the cardboard in it. That's the piece we used on the spine. That's an Alfred's tail. And that's just a really pretty pale purple. I wish I could hear you guys. Oops. You know what? Hey, idea. right here. Genius. Let's cut this off, shall we? Dingbat. Or do we like this better? Oh, I do kind of like that. And we use this on one of the yo-yos for the front. I think we'll do this. Okay, decision made. Go us. So now we'll take this. And again, this is just I'm using nylon thread because when you're stitching through the paper and all the layers of fabric, this will not break as easily because that would stink. And I happen to find that vintage nylon thread in a bag of stuff I got. So it is vintage, so maybe it will break. Who knows? I feel confident. I'm feeling good about it. So let's just get a knot put in here. Try to get a knot put in there. I did double up my thread. Hardest thing I ever did, obviously. Okay, cut off that tail. And off we go. So, I'm going to take these two guys. How do we want it to sit? Thinking I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. So, okay, let's take these two guys, right sides together. Perfect. They match up perfectly. Take our little clips again. Hold those together for us. Let me see if I can get where you can see. So what I'm going to do is go through the corner now. We're not going through the paper, we're only going through the fabric. So I'm going to go right through this corner and get those guys stitched together. You want to make sure to get that corner stuck together really well, sewn together really well, so you don't have a hole where all the pieces meet, because that would stink. Okay, get that in there. I'm going to do one more stitch there to make sure it's good and secure. And then we're just going to whip stitch all the way down the length of that seam. Pretty darn close together. I think maybe 20 stitches or so. And again, feeling with your needle, you can tell that you're not going through the paper. So you need to go to the very edge and just catch that edge where the fabric starts. Go. There we go. My thread is kind of kinkity. Okay. So we're just going right next to it, to the very top. Ultimately, when you take out your little paper hexagons, there shouldn't be little nicks at the top where you know, we're hitting it with your needle. Another little stitch. Maybe I'll fast forward this part because it's kind of boring, I know. Alright, so I am back at this last end. I've put in one stitch at the corner. I'm going to go over just a slight bit, put in another stitch to sort of reinforce it and make sure those corners are matched up and sewn. We'll put in a knot. And let's just do that one more time. Make sure that we've got it knotted well. Hope I didn't just go through the paper, because that's going to make it hard to get that rascal out, isn't it? Guess we'll find out, huh? Okay. So there. They are all stitched together. This one's bent, but it'll be fine. I'll press it after we get it taken apart. Let's cut this thread off. Yeah, I can't imagine making a whole quilt like this. I don't know. Thousands and thousands of these. Look how cute it is, you guys. Isn't that adorable? So let's go ahead and cut these basting threads. Let go. And then we've been going quite a while. Oh, goodness. Almost 50 minutes, but once I fast forward that, it shouldn't be too bad. So let's just cut this basting thread out and see what we've got. You know what? My seam ripper will be easier. There we go. I almost want to press this before we take the basting threads out to make sure that it stays the way it's supposed to be. All right, you know what I think we'll do, guys? I will say goodbye to you now. I'll take the basting threads out and I'll press it and then take the basting threads out, and we'll take the paper out together in the next video. How's that? That way I'll make sure that the edges that aren't sewn together stay nice and neat and tidy, and I'll feel better about that. So let's pull our piece back over here. I'll get all this invisible stitched down. It will be awesome, and then we can next time work on Alfred and the other stuff. So here are our yo-yos, and oh yeah, I like the colors that we picked. Oh, I just hiccuped. I hiccuped right in your face. Pardon me. I like these colors a lot. So this will end up here, going some direction. Not sure what yet. That is going to be awesome. So thank you so much for hanging around today. I really appreciate you. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, thanks for coming back, you guys. And I will see you again really soon. Bye.